What's the greatest obstacle or challenge facing you on your path to becoming financially free? For most of us, it's the time it takes to even focus on it. We're so busy with our lives that we don't even know where to start. Come join Joey and I and the team in Nashville, Tennessee, August 9th through the 11th, as we break down the different ways that you can become financially free and introduce you to different strategies and speakers who can help you on that first step.
You have questions? This event is designed to give you the answers to take action fast, to turn the decades it's taken us to learn this and turn them into days. Don't hesitate. Go to wealthwithoutwallstreet.com/live. And don't forget to use the promo code podcast to get a deep discount.
All right. You're getting a chance. If you're watching on YouTube, you're seeing our passive income spreadsheet. We share this every single month. We love to go through this to keep us accountable, right? If what you track grows and what you track and report on grows exponentially. When we first started tracking this diet, if you remember, July 2020, we posted a $2,400 a month net income. In June of 2024, 4 years after the fact, we posted a net income of $48,000. That's pretty good.
I mean,
you take that?
I'll take it.
Okay.
It's good.
Well, I want to get us all to a launch, man. Get it with some success, some accolades, if you will. But
don't beat yourself up.
Because there's a lot of lessons. There's some frustration that exists on the spreadsheet, at least for me. I know if you're watching this, you're like, man, good for you guys. I'm just trying to get my first $400 a month of passive income. And you guys have gotten, $48,000 a month. Well, that is the MOTER acronym. We've put a lot of money in this. We've put up to right out of $1.8 million in this. We've had a lot of opportunities come our way.
Tons.
Every single month, we're putting time and effort into learning how to do deals. I mean, we got off a call earlier today with the new passive income stream strategy that we're going to be involved, getting it off the ground. You got to be active for someone, for it to be passive for someone else, or you have to put in active time and effort on the front end to get passive on the back end. The experience, Joey, like there's some experience that we're learning for the good, but there's some experience on the bad end of this. And then there's a pretty cool story that maybe you'll share at the end of how a relationship has created opportunity for next month for you to post a new number, a new stream of income that doesn't exist.
Right. And just as you're listening to Russ, I want to make sure you didn't miss that. We call it the redneck motor, but it's just the fact of what does it take to put together deals? And he just mentioned money, opportunity, time, experience, and relationship, right? If you have one of those, you can put together deals. If you have none of those, you need to get one of them, right? Put together deals by having the...
Okay, so let's just talk about that really quick. I think that's a good... If you're listening for the first time to us, and you're saying, hey, I have no passive income, what is that first thing that I could do to help me create passive income? How would you lead it?
Well, it depends. I mean, I don't want to just blanket statement this, but at the very first of this is, if you have a lot of money, this is a great asset. That's something that you can definitely bring into deals because opportunities always need cash.
But the problem is, what do I invest in?
Well, that's where I would say before you take that really great asset of all the cash that you got to be educated, right? You have to figure out what is it that I need to be investing in to get to my end. We talk about this through our partnership with Apex Coaching Group, right? They walk you through what it takes to become financially free. And one of the very first things is having your vision. If you have a vision of what financial freedom will mean for you and what you're going to be doing and who you're going to be and what you're going to have, then what you invest in becomes very clear. Do I need cash flow? It starts to form your buy box. No longer are you just like chasing this interest rate or the ROI number that's after this pro forma that somebody puts in front of you. It's no longer about that. It's about how does this help me get to my end goal?
Yeah.
But if you haven't taken the time to do that, don't invest. Please don't.
Yeah. The best thing you can do initially is investing in your financial education. Some people have been doing that for a long time and they need to take action. If that's you, you need to take action. if you are starting on the first step and you're trying to figure out which one of these things to invest in, you need to understand who you are as an investor. We have actually built out a whole investor DNA process. And in that investor DNA process, it really gives you the details of who you are as an investor. And then it shares with you what are the pros, cons of your profile against all these different passive income streams that you see Joey and I talking about every single month. If you're listening to this right now, you actually have a chance to join us in Nashville, Tennessee. We're going to be live with the Apex Group and about 150 other entrepreneurs and investors who are looking for successful ways to create passive income streams that exceed their monthly expenses. Definitely go to oncebywallstreet.com/live, put in promo code podcast and join us. We're going to be there August 9th through 11th. If you're listening to this live, you listen to this in the as soon as it comes out, you still have a chance to join us. Don't miss out on that. All right, Joey, I want to talk about the frustrations that you and I have experienced, right? It's not all success stories. We need to, let people know that creating passive income is hard. It's hard work. And sometimes there's times where the efforts we're putting in aren't always paying off. And don't want you to, not experience this at home and think, oh, well, I'm the only one. I'm the only one that has these months, these quarters, sometimes even years where I'm not making the success that I thought I would be making. And then you say, well, what should I keep really going on? If you look at this list, what are some of those frustration points that we've had last month and last quarter that maybe you and I've had sidebar conversation on, but I'd love for our audience to hear some of that too.
Well, I'll tell you, because you're a part of a syndication that has a pro forma that says they're going to pay you monthly does not mean that you're always going to be paid monthly. In fact, in some cases, you're not going to get paid at all because things happen. Investments are not guaranteed. And in the case of one of these syndications that we're part of, they went to a quarterly pay model from a monthly pay model. And even that has not necessarily been paid on time. And so it makes you start to wonder, okay, well, is there something further, deeper I need to dig in here? Is it just like I can't do anything about it? The other thing about syndication is you can't control anything, right? You can't really influence the outcome. The operator is the make or break single point of failure in that case. So I would say for me, it's been kind of frustrating that, hey, we had some income we expected, hasn't come in, and now it's changed to a quarterly payout instead of a monthly.
Well, that's one of those things about passive, right? There's so many times I talk to you at these live events or in our mastermind, and you talk about how you love passivity in your investing. You love that mailbox money lifestyle. You like going out to the mailbox per se. Nobody goes to the mailbox anymore. I hope you're not, right? I wouldn't let the USPS handle a check more than $1.50 for my grandma kind of thing. But you're wanting the ability just to receive a check and not have to do anything for it. But on the opposite end of that is when things aren't going well, that passivity doesn't give you the ability to influence its outcome.
That's right.
So whenever I see that, I go, that's frustrating. But to be honest, it's one of those areas. Like I look at the Bitcoin mining fund that we had broke. Like when we were mining Ethereum, you and I didn't have any influence over the outcome, but we could see every single month what those computers were doing because each one of those computers had their own hash rate. Each one of those computers were connected to our account. We could see it. We could ask questions of the person managing, hey, why is it this one's producing more than the other? We could buy a new machine when they told us that there was new technology out there. But then when Ethereum quit doing proof of work and went to proof of stake, we had to pivot. We had the choice at that point in time. Take our digital currency, put it in a vault, hold on to it, turn it into cash, or double down and start mining Bitcoin. And instead of owning one computer, wouldn't it make sense if we went into a pool where we bought hundreds of computers with 5 or 10 other people and we start mining it? Now, again, on the other end of that fund, no longer is the hash rate connected to my personal account.
That's right.
I don't see those those readouts. All I get is either money that deposits into our custodian account where the Bitcoin will come when it comes, or I get a big fat zero like we did last month. That's frustrating to me, man.
Tell me how you really feel, Russ.
I feel like I would have taken that, $175,000 that we bought into that fund and just bought Bitcoin. When we bought it when we did that fund, Bitcoin was traded like $31 a coin to the US dollar. Today, it's like at 64,000. If I looked at that account today, it would have, I guess if my math is right, somewhere around $350,000.
Yeah, and about that.
Today, our account, I think it says a little smaller than that.
Closer to about 15,000.
15,000, guys. Like, when you want to feel good about yourself, like you're like, what in the world? Yes, Tom Brady made a mistake. So did we, bro. This is just one of those. It's like, how? This is not fun. Also, looking at this list, though, there's things that we've seen some success in, right? We have a short-term rental business. We took from 0 units to over 25 units. We put an operator in, and then now we've owner-financed that business out, so we get a paycheck every single month. As you notice, we got a $20,000 paycheck from that business last month, and that is purely passive to us. That's pretty good.
I'd say I like that one.
Any other on the list that was good? We'll smooth the tone a little bit. Get a little hype in here.
Well, I'll go ahead and say this. The oil and gas fund paid out. That's a quarterly payment. But $3,700, that's a pretty nice payday. Was completely hands-off. Like I said before, we got some tax benefits on the front end.
Hey, I like that one because I don't know about you, but filling up my boat at the lake, I'm spending $5.60 a gallon on a boat. So I need some oil and gas to offset the oil and gas. That is rough.
I appreciate you using that gas, though. That's fun being on your boat.
Tribe, listen up. We're entering into the election year. This is the time where people are going to get super fearful. We're going to see businesses start to dry up. We're going to see opportunities, though, pile up for us only if we're prepared.
That's right. You get to choose right now. Will you allow this time frame to negatively affect you and your business and your investments? Or will you be prepared to take advantage of these huge opportunities that come on the backside of this because you're prepared with cash?
Let's get our house in order. If you haven't already maximized the infinite banking concept in your life, here's the chance for you to start learning. Go to wealthwithoutwallstreet.com/IBC. Take our free webinar so that you can start getting equipped with the things that you need to know so that you can take action on this looming event.
Well, I want to kind of switch gears a little bit on you. Yeah, I know you're not really expecting this, but this goes to anybody that, as you're listening to this, you think, man, these guys always like they pick some good things. They have a couple of dogs, whatever. What you don't see on this page are the number of deals that we don't do. Okay. And I'm going to tell you, I have been flooded lately with deals that I've done some due diligence on, I've gotten interested in, I've stepped down those roads, and then I say, nope, not for me. And I feel like the more the word gets out about you being an investor, the more you start to put capital in a place that you own and control. Here's a quick shout out to our friends at Strategic IBC, the guys that we trust to set up our infinite banking systems. You got to get your money into a place that you own and control, right? You got to go to wealthwithoutwallstreet.com/IBC and get that set up. Because, man, people are banging down the door trying to get you to invest. And I say no more than I say yes than ever before. What's a deal? I'll tell you one, just to kind of give you some backdrop. Local company that a friend of mine introduced me to. It's not a startup. It's been around for probably 6-7 years. They actually build the little kiosk that you can order food from at like fast food restaurants. And he needs capital to continue to grow that business. His current capital partners are maxed out. He's looking for additional ones. While I think that it actually will make money. And I think that he's actually a good operator. He's actually a proven operator. When I started looking at the collateral behind the investment, it was essentially an iPad in a little box. And the amount that he wants to use that capital for far exceeds what I believe I could go and resell that collateral for if something went terribly wrong. Now, I'm an optimist. I think he's a great guy. I think the business is making money. In fact, I can see it. But I just don't like the collateral. I don't feel comfortable with the collateral. And I think as an investor, you have to be very you have to draw the line on what it is that you would ever want to inherit if it went bad.
I think collateral is a good point here. So we were actually pitched the deal just yesterday, and the collateral on the deal, it was a house. They were actually doing, they needed a second loan, right? So they had a primary mortgage on the property. It was at like 65%. And they were trying to get a second mortgage on the property for another 10 to 15%. Now you may go, oh, well, man, there's an extra 20% in the deal. Why wouldn't you want to do that, Russ? Well, for me, I look at second mortgages as dogs. Unless you're going to give me collateral, something else to go along with that, I don't want any piece of the second mortgage. I don't want to be in second position. Here's why. It's because the person who's sitting in first position has the control of the asset. Meaning, if the property is worth $100,000 or $1 million, and the first position mortgage on it is $600,000, right? You follow me?
Yeah.
$1 million property, they've got a first mortgage at $600,000. If the person paying for the mortgages default, how much does the person with the first mortgage on it care about getting back? If they sell the property, they take it to market, they foreclose on it, they go to market, how much do they want to ensure that they get back for that property? What do they want to sell?
What they owe, the $600,000.
They don't care. They want, and we all know speed is what they're interested in.
That's right.
So they discount the property to get the sale, because if they sell it for $800, they don't get to keep that $800. They get their $600 and any fees, like legal fees and other assessment fees that they can have. Well, then anything over that then goes to the second mortgage holder. So you're at the mercy of what the first mortgage person does. I don't want to be in that position. I don't want someone else being able to control whether or not I get paid back or not. And if that person goes into bankruptcy, now you're looking at a 2-year process to try to get your money back. I stay out of second position. All right, let's go down the list here and talk about some other frustrations. We had a conversation about whether or not you should or should not, stop collecting a check on earthlygo.com, the affiliate content site that you and your daughter started. Tell me, how you feeling about this? It's the second or third month in a row now that you put an operator in there to help you grow it. And all I'm seeing is income going down on the top end. And obviously the back end is going down fast.
Well, I'll tell you this. The way I'm viewing this is the same as I was last month. I'm continuing to put the infrastructure in place for there to be sustainable income on a blog website. This is not one of those things that I feel like can be done without any sort of hands-on activity. You have to be building new content. You have to be getting the algorithm to pick up your site in order for there to be continuous income. It has not gone that way. It has continued. We're building out this infrastructure. There's been some changes to the website, even visually. And I think we're in position to where I can, this was what we would call a sprint. When I worked with the operator, he said, you know what? We can go ahead. What are you laughing at?
When I think of sprint, I just think of being dead tired at the end of it. I think about being out of gas. I think this is going to be you out of cash.
Well, here's my take on this. 2 months or 3 months now, we've been doing this. I'm giving it a break on the operator going forward.
It's not me, it's you.
And I'm going to see what happens from here. Can we start to get more and more income as a result of what was done over the last 90 days? Does it stay the same? Does it go down? And I'm just reporting to you live, like exactly what is going on. And man, I hope that it continues to go up or at least stay the same and get some of that.
So in July, we're not going to see a negative 2180 for this guy?
No, I'm not going to re-up on the sprint for July.
Okay. All right. Good. Man, I'm excited. This is going to help us get over 50K, because I don't know if you guys are tracking at home, but if Joey wouldn't have spent that 2180, the 48,000 that we had in cash in debt, if you would have put that in his pocket, we'd be above 50K right now. That's a ceiling. We keep butting heads. And here's
so it's all my fault.
No, it's not all you. All right, so we've talked about some money in deals. We've talked about opportunities in deals, time, experience. You're getting some experience in this one, for better or worse. All right, let's wrap it up with the R in the Redneck Motor relationship. You did have an opportunity that came along as a direct result of a relationship and having access to cash.
That's right.
Okay.
So let me just say this. If there wasn't a reason for you to set up the infinite banking policy system before, now there is, okay? You have to have money available and you have to be in the way of deals, okay? And I love what Russ has said in the past. I'll kind of repeat it again. When people ask you, what do you do when you network, when you're around new people, you always want to start with, I'm a doctor, I'm a teacher, I'm a lawyer, whatever the case is. But what we want to challenge you to think about is I'm an investor. When you say I'm an investor, people immediately try to categorize you in some way. And now they can start to say, when a deal comes up, I need to get in touch with that guy. He was an investor, right? This guy has an opportunity. I need to connect you to this guy. And in this case, I happen to be in the right place at the right time with a relationship. Somebody I've known for years. They come up at the last minute on a big apartment deal and they need to get over the finish line, but they need $500,000 to make it happen. And in order to do that, because it was so last minute and because it was the difference between getting the deal or losing the deal, the terms got very sweet. And let me just explain. It wasn't just my $500,000. It was several of us that got involved, but this $500,000 was worth 2% in interest for a 30-day hold time. Okay, do the math on that.
So that's an annualized 24%.
Exactly. But not only were we able to negotiate that, which is a great return. In addition, once I got the money back, I'm still an equity percentage owner in the entire apartment complex. So this is a 9-figure deal that I have a percentage ownership in, and I have no money in the deal. So I get paid today and I get paid tomorrow. Whenever that deal ends up funding, they sell it within a couple of years, few years, I'm actually going to get paid on that for having access to cash for a 30-day window of time. That's the kind of deals that you want to be involved with, and you can do it over and over. Now, what's the negative to that? I don't have any cash flow to put on my report. So it was only a 30-day time. That's why I was willing to do it. But man, I want to keep adding to the every month in, month out columns on this thing. And so that's the only negative in this deal.
Well, I hope you found value in one. We're going to keep posting. We're going to keep talking about it. I hope it encourages you, right? Not only will we have issues that don't work out perfectly, but we're trying, we're working, we're going to keep coming back and talking about the things that are working, the things that aren't working. But we want you to share your stories. If you don't have a community, join whatwalkwallstreet.com/community. Jump into our community. We have almost 9,000 people in there now. This needs to be a small group of people for you that is there to encourage you along the way. If you need to better understand who you are as an investor, you're looking for coaching. Like Joey said, we would point you toward our Apex coaching group. You can go to whatwalkwallstreet.com/free call, and you can get on a call with one of those coaches and talk about what would it look like for you to start leveling up in these areas of passive income or infinite banking or tax strategy. The key that we make over the next second half of this year will help us get so much closer to financial freedom, but it only happens if we invest in ourselves. Thank you so much for investing in yourself and by watching this. Thank you, Stallion, for having me over at your house today. And have an amazing day.
This has been the Wealth Without Wall Street podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to the show to break free of the Wall Street mindset and begin building wealth on your own terms in places you understand so that your wealth will never run dry. See you next episode.